Good morning, wrestling fans. Welcome to PWR today. It's May 17th, 2021. The man they call Meathead, the lovely Linda Kay, talking to you right after. We're in the aftermath of what happened at WrestleMania Backlash. I wouldn't say we're in the backlash of WrestleMania Backlash, but we're not in the backwash or we're not in the aftermath. I mean, it's Monday morning. It's post pay-per-view. Let's bring in Linda Kay now. Good morning, Linda.
Good morning, Meathead. I'm still feeling very uppity, very lively, just because it was a tremendous weekend
Yeah.
doing our PWR
Ooh.
fantasy draft. I thought was a great pay-per-view last night as well. Feeling good.
Yeah, and honestly, you're right. It was a great weekend. New socials here on Twitter at PWR Draft. That's where you're going to find everything that has to do with the PWR Draft for the 2021/2022 season. Also, we've got a new YouTube page that we're going to be doing the draft stuff on as well. We're still at PWR 360 on YouTube. We're still at PWR 360 on Twitter. We're still the PWR 360 on Facebook. The man they call Meathead's also got a page as well. We're going to be using that. It's a dawn of a new day. We, watch that video that we did the draft with. We talked about it. Damien Nelson has moved on. David Hero is, helping out senior intern Cal as the wrestling career of Fanny Pack Kid is exploding right now in the South and, in the Ohio Valley area. I mean, the kid's on fire right now. So right now, the PWR draft is three competitors. It's Linda Kay, it's Matthew Thomas, and the man they call Meathead. But that's not why you came here. You came here to hear about WrestleMania Backlash from last night. But before we do that, Linda Kay, we have a sponsor. And who is that?
Our wonderful friends at Collar and Elbow. Make sure to go to collarandelbowbrand.com, check out the latest fashions, and save 10% off your order by using promo code Linda K. That's LINDAKAY. Save yourself some bucks on some tremendous collar and elbow shirts and shorts, caps, patches. Check it out.
Yeah, and you say that so much faster than Matthew. I mean, I'm surprised, even though this is an audio version, I'm surprised he didn't try to spell it out for us. I'm surprised he didn't try to have, notebooks and all that other good stuff. So,
yeah,
good stuff.
Just like as you had mentioned on the draft, yes, you could see a full explanation and visual of what we were just referring to with Matthew and the promo code. But just to confirm, Meathead, so with this new draft, it's at PWR Draft 2021?
Yep, PWR Draft 2021 on Twitter.
Okay.
Make sure you give us a follow, give us a like, check out all the shenanigans for the PWR Draft season between Linda, Matthew, and myself, everybody here at PWR today. Now, let us talk a couple very quick bits of news before we go into breaking down WrestleMania Backlash. First off, featured on Dark Side of the Ring last week, I believe it was, Nick Gage, the king of the death match, the hardcore match, Dark Side of the Ring. Apparently, AEW talent Jon Moxley attacks him at a show, I believe it's out in Vegas. Jon Moxley may be working some side shows outside of AEW and going for Nick Gage. Does Nick Gage show up at AEW Dynamite, or is Moxley going outside and working elsewhere?
Ooh, that would make sense to bring Nick over to AEW, given its edgier side as far as wrestling goes on television nowadays. But then again, Moxley does live out in Vegas, him and Renee, so perhaps this show on Fremont Street was just a neighborly stroll, if you will, and lo and behold, there's a show there, and Moxley decides to attack Nick. I'm not quite sure, but I mean, if he can be a title holder in other promotions, perhaps this is just another one to add on outside of AEW.
Game Changer Wrestling in the Vegas area, also available on our friends' website, Fight TV. So let's keep an eye on that. So Moxley and Nick Gage going at it. Nick Gage again just featured recently on the Dark Side of the Ring. Let's talk about real quick as we get into WrestleMania Backlash 2021. Did you see what Charlotte Flair was wearing?
Yes. I loved it. I know you especially loved it. You brought it up before I did.
Yeah, she looked amazing. And not only did she look amazing, she had a very specific theme going on with her outfit. Cruella de Vil, Cruella movie coming out from Disney. And she had a 101 Dalmatians outfit going with her entrance gear and her ring attire. She looked amazing. The redo that she's done since she came back from being quote unquote suspended, or she came back from being injured right before WrestleMania. The reboot, the redo that she's doing right now, she looks hashtag tremendous.
Yeah, you know what? Cruella Deville, Sonia Deville.
Ah, Linda Kay with the shot and a goal on the empty net. Woo!
Times I'm a thinking.
That's right. That was an amazing poll. Matter of fact, folks, make sure you're commenting on the video. Make sure you're sharing that with your friends. If you're listening on Apple, if you're listening on Facebook and on YouTube, you caught it on Twitter, Spotify, wherever you're listening to the podcast, make sure you're sharing with your friends. Linda Kay knocking one out of the park there. But looking, again, absolutely tremendous. So let's talk about what happened yesterday during the pay-per-view. First off, the kickoff show, United States champion Sheamus, fella, taking on Ricochet. A couple references to Pretty Ricky and Ricky, and Sheamus calling him Ricky as he's wearing his gear, looking like Pretty Ricky with the jacket and the hat. You know what? Ricochet we haven't seen in a while, and honestly, Ricochet hasn't been mixing it up in the mid card or higher for over a year now, but Ricochet looked credible, and I enjoyed the match.
Yeah, he always puts on a great match, and you bring up a good point. We haven't seen him around too much. I mean, he had what could have been, I still feel, a great build up to Mania between him and Mustafa Ali, but
Yeah.
that fizzled, and we really haven't seen him too much, at least on Raw. But nice for him to make that appearance in the pre-show, and hopefully get him back, if not mid, perhaps main card even. He's very, very talented, and if they just keep going with a Pretty Ricky, that could be a whole nother side of Ricochet. I don't want to see another gimmick because we know his Twitter Pretty Ricky, obviously, but just another side of him.
Yeah, I loved it. Sheamus tweeted out later, my jacket smells like a loser now. Again, I thought it was kind of funny. Let's talk about the pay-per-view proper. It opens up with the triple threat for the Raw Women's Championship. Rhea Ripley defeats Asuka and Charlotte Flair in a triple threat match. Rhea Ripley, who was on team they call Meatheads, the championship team, no longer on the team. She's been drafted by Matthew Thomas, and I think he did it out of spite. But Rhea Ripley wins and retains with a pinfall victory on Asuka. Charlotte Flair not being involved in the decision.
Yeah, I was a bit surprised by that. I did feel Charlotte would come with the win just because of all of the efforting from Sonya Deville, bringing her back from the so-called suspension or whatever happened. But yeah, it was a clean finish. So that, but obviously there's still some more things of brewing with Charlotte. I mean, just her staring in the ring and the way I know Rhea always kind of does the thing with the finger on the nose, the hand, and always kind of rubs it in the faces of those that she defeats. But
yeah,
I'm seeing something more between Rhea and Charlotte, or as my final pick in the draft yesterday, I did select Alexa Bliss. Now, hear me out for a second. Remember on Raw last week where she came out during that women's tag match and
yes,
was watching, and she had Lily out there and said, "We came out to look. What is it? What did she say again? We came out to watch. We're coming out for one of you, or something like that." It was narrowing down to one of them, and it didn't say who, but it kind of made me feel it was a Charlotte Alexa kind of thing. So
ooh,
I'm leaning toward maybe something with Alexa and Charlotte, if not with Rhea, of course, with the
okay.
belts. Yeah.
Well, let's get our girls active on the shows and active on the pay-per-views and get those appearance points, right?
Yeah, definitely.
I'm very proud of this pick in the PWR draft yesterday. I picked the father-son team of Rey and Dominic Mysterio. They defeat Ziggler and Rude to become the new SmackDown Tag Team Champions. I thought it was very telling, and I mentioned it in the video as well yesterday. I would have no problem taking Ziggler and Rude. However, I believe they're going to lose it on a pay-per-view, like I said with Sheamus as well. So I'll take the team of Mysterio, Dominic, and Rey. And it happened. The first ever father-son tag team are the SmackDown Tag Team Champions.
I thought this match was well done, with it starting off with that attack from the Dirty Dogs
Oh,
on
that
Dominic.
pre-show appearance from Dominic? Thanks, pal.
Mm-hmm. That's right. So that set the tone. There could have been a chance that this match not have happened, but no, we have Ray, the dedicated father. I'm going to go out, fight for us, and do this for us. And they were beating down on Ray, and I was just like, I hope Dominic can make it out. And lo and behold, Dominic comes out, and it was still a struggle. I like that they didn't just have Dominic come out,
Hot
get the
tag
frog
win.
splash.
Yeah.
Exactly. They still showed a struggle, and Dominic sold it well. Him and Ray, great tag partners. I know they've been mentioning it a lot leading up to last
Oh
night.
yeah.
First father-son tag team, or that could potentially be the first father-son tag team in the WWE, and I'm very glad it happened, and in that way that it happened. I loved it. So great call on picking up the Mysterios in the draft, but I really did enjoy that match and to see that father-son embrace at the end as well.
I would say sleeper match of the night. Honestly, I thought it was a great match. Imagine what that match would have been like in front of a crowd.
Yeah,
I mean,
definitely.
because it's one thing to have them pump in the sound and to have them pump in EST. It's all fake. But did you look at the video boards during the once Dominic came out to watch the boards?
Yeah,
Everybody was in those screens were jumping up and down. They were hot.
absolutely. I did see that. It kind of made me think about SmackDown last week too, when Tamina and Natalia won the
Yeah.
titles. I know, like, leading up, people were like, "Oh, Natalia, Tamina," like if it made it seem as if some of the fans weren't really behind them, but when they won the belts on Friday's SmackDown, I saw everybody in the screens looking legitimately happy and cheering as well, just like last night for Ray and Dominic. So I'm very very happy for them. I'm glad they were able to capture the gold and set a new standard in WWE history.
I tell you, if that match would have been on SmackDown on Friday night, Tamina and Natalia, and that would have been on the pay-per-view, that would have been a team I would have had probably in my first 2 or 3 picks because
Mm,
you had to smell that they were coming. Now, uh, the fact that Shayna and Nia Jax dropped the belts, I do see Shayna still being around, and Nia, I don't know. I see the team breaking off. I don't see them sticking together.
mm. Well, they have dissension here and there, and with the addition of Reginald stirring the pot a bit,
Reggie.
yeah, perhaps.
Okay. I don't want to talk about it, but we're broadcast journalists and we have to bring it up. And again, another person that didn't make the top 9, if you will, but is somebody that I find to be really an up and comer in the next year. Damien Priest had a match against The Miz, and it was a lumberjack match. And the Jacks of Lumber were undead.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me just say this real quick. And, I want to first go back to the last match. I forgot to bring this up. Bully Ray, he's got Busted Open Radio
Mhm.
over on Sirius XM. He, I'm not here to put over Bully Ray, but he had one tweet that just blew me away. He goes, he hated that Ray and Dominic won it last night because Hell in a Cell's on Father's Day next month. Why didn't they do it on Father's Day? Just kidding. Great match. Happy to see it happen. But I digress. Damian Priest defeats The Miz in a lumberjack match. They had zombies, and we knew this was coming. Damian Priest, when you look back in hindsight now, he goes, "Bring zombies, aliens, I don't care." I'm like, "Uh-oh." And Army of the Dead
Yeah.
they've got this cross promotional thing with Batista, who's in this new Netflix movie by Zack Snyder, Dawn of the Dead, the Superman, Batman movies, the Justice League, all that Zack Snyder. Richard Cheese is in this movie singing as well, and I love me some Ricardo Queso. But I feel insulted. And I mean, honestly, I was pissed when I saw them come out because they're zombies and they're going after people. They can even jump the rail like regular humans, but can't jump into the ring. This was
Yeah.
obnoxious.
Yeah. And rather insulting, I guess, in another way, in that there could have been actual superstars as the actual lumberjacks, which would have been a payday.
Payday for everybody. Hell, we could have got appearances.
Yes.
Could have had Otis. We could have had somebody.
Yes, that's another good point. Yeah, I mean, with the network being on Peacock now, I guess there's just going to be some more cross-promotional things taking place. Well, at least they did send that reminder about, that movie, that this is why the zombies are there, because of the cross-promotional piece. But at first, it made me think, I'm like, it made me think about that takeover, or was it just a regular NXT with Dexter Lumis, the match with Cameron Grimes?
It was Halloween
those
Havoc.
Zombies. Oh, it was Halloween Havoc, yes. Well, those zombies made it in the ring.
Right, exactly. Where are you getting your zombies from?
And then it made me think about...
Damn you, Dexter Lumis, to the moon!
Just not grits. I can't say it like you, but yeah, interesting. Made me think of House of Horrors then. It made me think about some other various things. But I mean, I get it. I wish that zombies would have appeared closer on Halloween, just because that, in my mind, would have made more sense.
I didn't even hate the zombies on Halloween Havoc. I hated these, and hate's a strong word. We don't use it in my house, but I hated this because then once the bell rang, they know how to get in the ring now.
Yes.
Come on, man. And then even cornier, they were up on the video boards.
Oh, Damien Priest trying to shoot his...
No. I'm talking about they were on the video boards on the hard camera. And once they went to Cole and McAfee, they lined up the bottom row of the video boards as well.
Okay.
It's just obnoxiously obvious and corny as AF. Corny AF. That's all I gotta say.
Well, it'll be interesting to see in what type of shape Miz will be in tonight on Raw, if he'll be there.
I mean, if they want us to believe in what they do, Miz needs to have a body arm or a piece of body missing.
Yes.
You need to have a leg gnawed off or something.
That would make sense.
I mean, because we've been getting pounded with zombies for about 15 to 20 years now, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm done. I don't want to put any more energy into this. All right. Let's talk another good match. Let's talk about SmackDown Women's Champion Bianca Belair defeating my former girl from the team they call Meatheads in the last season, Bayley, who's currently not on the team. I have one bone to pick with this. Michael Cole very blatantly pointing out, Bayley, she shaved the name of her opponents in the back of her head. And then they show the back of her head. That's not shaved. They put like silly string on the back of her head. I thought you were shaving it in. It was a different color and it was on top of her head. If she's going to shave it, then show us. If she's going to have something else in there, don't say she shaved it. She just put her name back there. It just, when I watch movies and I, watch TV shows and I'm looking for continuity, there was no continuity on this.
Okay. Well, I mean, Michael Cole and Bayley have some type of feud or relationship or something.
She had Michael Cole's name in the back of her head, didn't she?
Exactly. Yeah, she did.
Yeah, but I mean, if you're going to call it, then call it right. Shaved in the back of her head. It was a different color and on top of her head. Not shaved in. Let's not have that take away from the match, right? I'm nitpicking now after the damn zombies. So.
See. Well, here's my takeaway from this match, Meathead. Okay. I got some points.
Yeah, hey, look at that. That's a championship title defense.
Yes. She was my only draft pick on the show last night, but hey, I felt good about it being a huge point gainer and that she is the champion and that she would continue being champion after her match. And here we are.
There you are. So the winner of the match. Yep, still champion, Bianca Belair. Now, this triple threat, all three members of the triple threat were on teams. Two of them, Matthew Thomas's. One of them, the man they call Meatheads. WWE champion Bobby Lashley, Braun Strowman on. Let's see if I can get it right. Team Matthew Mandela. No, team. What did he call it?
Team
Nelson Mandela.
Yes.
Matt
Nelson Mandela.
Nelson Mandela. I told you it'll take me 6 months.
I had to think about it too.
You know,
It's
he's
still so
screaming at
fresh.
the radio this morning, going, "Oh, you guys are killing me." Well,
We
Matthew
just got
Thomas's
used to
team.
Team Matt Damien, so
Yeah.
bear with us, Matthew.
Matthew Thomas's team had Bobby Lashley and Braun Strowman. I brought in Drew McIntyre into a triple threat. And again, amazing match. I have a bone to pick with it, though. And it was really something to do with the entire finish. Bobby Lashley was thrown through the LED boards and should have been down for the count, right? Because the other time he did it, he was out 6 weeks. People have gone through the stage and been sent off out, whatever amount of time. MVP was ringside this whole time while Bobby Lashley is nowhere to be found. And we assume dead underneath the stage, right? Nope. MVP is still there watching the match, and here comes Bobby Lashley at the end. Other than that, great match.
Yeah, you bring up a good point. Michael Cole did even mention about the last time Lashley got put through the stage pyro, that he was out
Yep.
for months. He said weeks, whatever. It was for a long, extended time. Yeah, I mean, he found a way to escape it. I wish we could have maybe after the match seen how he escaped it. Maybe it was actually a piece of the stage that connected with the wiring and he was actually okay.
Yeah.
And that, because they did allude to him being the one who outsmarted everyone, or him and MVP outsmarting everyone, that he waited for the opportune time to come in to get
but
the
with
pin.
no worse for the wear, right? I got one other thing I had to bring up. I forgot to mention is between the Bianca Belair and Bayley in the match. Did that finish look a little funny to you? Like Bayley thought she got her shoulders up?
Yeah, I believe the
and there was no replay either.
Yeah, the braid wasn't as tightly clinched, I believe, to secure Bayley down a little harder where both of her shoulders were pinned.
They need to make that story. They need to make that canon instantly on Friday that she says, look, the referee blew it. She's got to call that out. I mean, we need to get that corrected.
Yeah, I mean, she started to. She told Michael Cole to bring it up on the monitor. So
yep.
Yeah, that could be whether that was planned or not.
I don't think it was planned, but I think they need to make it story. And if that's really the case where Bayley went over there because she saw what happened with it and she covered herself, I think that's great professionalism by her, and they'll make it story and they'll work with it. So I like that. I think that's a veteran move, honestly.
Yeah.
Finally, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, even if it wasn't planned, then even just a rematch on SmackDown just to make things right.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, finally, the main event. The Universal Champion Roman Reigns defeats my guy back in the swing, Cesaro. We get appearance points, each of us, Matthew and myself. But really the story here is, one, no Usos in the match. Okay?
Yeah.
Roman Reigns struggled to beat Cesaro, but finally does at the end. Cesaro selling injury and selling body parts that he couldn't finish the match. Okay? Two, once this match is over and Jey Uso finally comes out, hey, look at that. I'll take some free, cheap appearance points. Seth Rollins is not done with Cesaro, and a couple new spots with chairs and arms and ring posts.
Yeah. Pretty vicious ending. That was a surprise to this match. Kind of going to last week when you and Matthew were talking about predictions for WrestleMania Backlash, you had mentioned perhaps Roman maybe even losing the title due to interference from Jimmy Uso. So that was kind of in the back of my mind as well. But when we didn't see either Uso, and Roman ended up pinning Cesaro after a great match, great selling Cesaro, and just, we saw a little color, but that was okay. It went with him showing the struggle with his arm, his elbow, and I thought it was a great match, solid match. And then the element of surprise, Rollins coming in, and I loved how he came in and had that stare down with Roman and making us think, ooh, there could be something there, but starts laughing, goes after Cesaro, beats him down hard. Yeah. I do like this continuation between Rollins and Cesaro, because
this one I don't mind continuing.
Yeah.
I mean,
when we kept unfinished business from
I was going to say, when we kept begging for the finish of Rollins and Mysterio, and they kept giving it to us over and over. This one I don't mind continuing.
Yeah, it seems like they still had unfinished business from WrestleMania or during that time frame, and Cesaro went on to get this title shot against Roman Reigns, and since he didn't win against Roman, here comes Seth Rollins to try to handle his business with Cesaro. And yeah, it's obviously this is leading to perhaps a match between the two of them at Hell in a Cell, or
which is coming up next. Hell in a Cell is June 20th. So WWE now has, I believe it's 5 weeks, 6 weeks to get to Hell in a Cell. We've got Raw tonight, and I have some interest in seeing what happens. You know, the post WrestleMania Backlash show, we've gotten our WrestleMania, Backlash business done. Now it is time to give me something new, build to something new. We finished all the, leftovers, the hangovers from WrestleMania. Now it's time to start new stories. Real quick, I want to talk about this before we go here. Your thoughts on Pat McAfee's commentary with Michael Cole?
I think just commentary itself, I think they mesh well together, and I think Pat McAfee himself does a nice job.
Yeah.
But on the flip side, perhaps we could have Pat McAfee being more of the edgier heel commentator. Not like doesn't necessarily have to go too over the top, being a supporter of all the heels of the show, but maybe more of a Corey Graves kind of edge. Not saying he has to be like Corey Graves, and as obviously on Raw,
Corey Graves is great. I love Corey Graves' work.
Yeah, and plus on Raw is a 3-man team. But I mean, personally, I like Pat McAfee, but I guess maybe if you want to add a different element to SmackDown, maybe not have him be so happy for all the faces as well. I'm not sure. I don't know. Why did you ask?
So here's why I ask, and here's where I'm going with it. I'm going a little differently with McAfee. Okay. I agree with you that maybe he can be a little bit more heel, a little bit more rooting for the bad guy, if you will. But I think he needs to pull back from calling wrestling moves. Michael Cole corrected him a few times last night and says, like arm drag. No, that's and Pat McAfee, while he is the color analyst, and the color analyst naturally is the one that's going to call the moves and the one that's going to call, the different reasons why the wrestler's doing something, is not suited for that and shouldn't be doing that, right? Sadly, McAfee is on a 2-man team because Michael Cole is so strong that Michael Cole will carry Pat McAfee. The irony of all this is that Corey Graves is over on Raw, and he's the veteran there. I mean, yes, Byron Saxton may have been in the company longer, but he's the one that's helping the play-by-play guy. And then, Byron comes in and does his little spots too. It's just ironic that, Pat McAfee's leaned on to do so much color commentary. Yes, I'd like to see him do more of maybe heel work, but I need to hear less of him calling moves. He shouldn't be calling moves unless he's calling signature moves, the ones that he should already know, not calling wrestling, regular wrestling holds.
Yeah. Well, still pretty fresh on SmackDown, but I think the two of them do work well together, and perhaps they'll just, get better and better each week.
All right. Well, that has been WrestleMania Backlash review. That's also been our Monday for PWR Today. Again, folks, new socials for the draft. We're using at PWR Draft 2021, and we've also got a new YouTube page, and we've got the Man They Call Meathead Facebook page as well. The others are still there. We're just expanding our universe, right? We've still got the Pro Wrestling Report on Facebook. We've still got PWR 360 on Twitter. We still got at Linda K, and it's 414, right?
It's actually at Linda K 22.
I get the email. Sorry, I get them crossed up.
Oh, no worries. But yeah, Twitter, it's at Linda K 22.
At Linda K 22, you got at The Real M Thomas, and you've got at WCW Meathead. So for Linda K and for Matthew Thomas, I'm the Man They Call Meathead. Hey, thanks for stopping by. So long, everyone.